Hi everyone, my name is Shyla and I'm coming from Cheyenne, Wyoming. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as essentially Shyla. Um, Before I begin, I wanted to tell a little bit about myself. Um, I am a mom of three. I homeschool, I stay at home, and I am a self-taught knitter and crocheter of about 7 years. Um, I've kind of only before made blankets, hats, and scarves, and that's mostly been crochet. I've only done a knitted blanket here or there. Just recently, I started getting serious about my knitting because I wanted to make things for my kids and myself. So I decided right before Thanksgiving I would do that. All three of my kids would get sweaters for Christmas. So that's what I'm going to share with you today is the sweaters I made them. Um, and I'll show you what I'm working on and yarn that I've received recently. I'm trying to stick to being a purposeful buyer when I'm buying yarn, so I know what I'm buying yarn for, and so it doesn't sit around because I do live in a small house, and that's River Dog behind me. Um, so let's move on to my finished objects, which isn't much right now. But first one I started on was right before Thanksgiving, probably a week or two before Thanksgiving, and I started on a sweater for my son, baby E, and it was my first ever sweater, and I didn't know how to knit a sweater before. I just kind of jumped into it. That's kind of my personality. I kind of will do things without really knowing how to do them or how I'm going to do it. I just do it. So here's his sweater, and baby E is probably about a year and a half. I don't know how many months because his birthday's coming up soon. So, anyways, this is my first sweater, and I've never done cables before this. So this is the Abernathy sweater, and I will include a picture of it in here. And it probably took me about 2 weeks to do, and no real problems. If I started out with, I went straight to the yarn store and had one of the gals there help me, and I kind of took off from there. So as soon as I got that done, I started on my oldest daughter's sweater, and they got to pick the yarn, except for baby E because he doesn't really care. They got to pick the yarn, and I picked the pattern. Sorry, it's full of dog hair. And I did both the girls, my oldest, Miss O, who's 7 now, and little Miss A, sweater, the same pattern, different colors. So I did a cardigan for them, and it's showing up really bright, but it's kind of a darker pink fuchsia. That's probably almost close right there. Anyways, it's got these lovely antler cables right here that I love, and it was my first time doing a cardigan, and not my first time doing a buttons, but I had a lot of fun working with it. It was kind of mindless because it's worked from the bottom up, so stockinette stitch, and I just kind of watched movies or listened to some audiobooks while I was doing that. And then that took about probably a week and a half, maybe 2. It took me a little bit longer because it was bigger. And then Little Miss A sweater, which is purple. And I'll include the yarn that I used on the bottom while I'm talking about it because I can't think of it. This one I know is Malabrigo, and I don't remember the name, but I love how soft it is. And I did her sweater 5 days before Christmas, 4 days, so I was kind of rushing it. I love how it came out. I didn't alternate skeins or anything just because the pulling thing doesn't bother me, and I kind of thought of did alternate skeins, and then my son, who's very adventurous and mischievous, would get a hold of it, just like tangle up the yarn. So I didn't really think I had much pulling that I noticed in it. And I'll include pictures as well of the sweaters, the girls wearing them, because they're gorgeous. But that's all that I've gotten finished recently, just because I'm kind of a monogamous knitter, and I don't like starting too many things at once, just so I can get them done quicker. But my next thing is what I'm working on, or my work in progress, which is two things. I kind of decided I wanted to knit after finding a magazine with a lovely sweater pattern on the front, and I'll include a picture of it. So this is the Tucker sweater that I'm working on right now, and I'm making this sweater out of the Cascade Yarns Ecological Wool, and this has, where is it? Oh, 478 yards in it, and it's a bulky weight yarn. It's kind of a rustic kind of yarn, but once I swatched it and dried it, it softened up so much. I am in love with this yarn. And it's not super scratchy, and when I bought this, I knew this is going to be a sweater that I wore like over a long sleeve shirt or something, because I'm tired of being so cold in Wyoming, that I wanted to make myself a sweater and just stay warm, because last night was New Year's Eve, and it got down to 10 degrees at night when I went out to get some champagne. Anyways, this is how far I've gotten into it, and the pattern has a different edging on the bottom where you purl. It's all purl stitches. You like purl one row, knit the next. I didn't like the texture of that, so I changed it, and I did a Italian tubular cast on, which was a lot of fun to do. So we'll see if I like it. I've got yarn in it right here in case I want to like rip back, which I wasn't sure if I was doing this right, but I think I am. So sorry about that. That was my middle child, little Miss A. Ugh, I got hair in my mouth now. Anyways, I was telling you about the waist yarn that I have right here. I think I'm about to move it up, because I'm about to do some decreases with the sweater, and I'm nervous about messing it up, so I think I might move that up. But I thought when I was working with this it's like a salmon coral color. It's a Cascade 220 superwash that I used for socks, which I don't have. I'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, I thought this was a nice contrasting color that if I ever wanted to wear a shirt underneath, I should probably get a color like this to pop out like a button-up shirt. That'd be nice. But this is how far I am. I've been working on it for a couple days, and sweaters for adults take a lot longer. So my next work in progress is a knit along we're doing at the local yarn store here, which is Meadowlark Yarns, and I have not really working on it yet because I'm still waiting to find a certain color that I want, but I've got all the other colors I'm using in it. But I am doing the Rosemont cardigan with the with everyone who's participating, and so I'm using the Malabrigo worsted weight yarn, and I'm changing the way I'm doing the cardigan because I'm really into color work, so I'm doing a color work in it. I'm like adding color work to it. So these two colors and then a natural, which I cannot find, so I might just have to go down to a different weight yarn and then use 2 strands at once. So I'm doing this purple and this gray, which I can't remember the name of it when I'll put it in the bottom right now. And then this is going to be the main color, which is like a mint sea greenish color. I can't remember the color either. So I'll list all the colors of this. This is the main color that I'm using. And I've gotten the top of it started just a tiny bit because I got impatient and I wanted to be knitting something else while I waited to find out where I could find some more yarn for this. And I can't, so I'll have to, I'm switching between needles right now. So the needles I'm using, the size 8s, because I went down a size. This is all I have started. I tied it, put on some waste yarn and tied it so it wouldn't come loose because my son likes to pull things out. So I'm using size 8s on these. And it's the same yarn I used on the purple antler cardigan for Little Miss A. And it's so soft. I always knew I was going to use this kind of yarn for the cardigan because I wanted something super soft and warm for me. I don't have interchangeable needles right now, so that's why it's on waste yarn, and then my Tucker sweater is on the needles because I figured while I'm waiting, I could start on another sweater because I'm kind of impatient and I really want a sweater for myself. So, anyways, moving on. I am one of my younger sisters. I've got 4, is having a baby. And I am making her a bunch of baby stuff for her. Her baby, she's having a boy, and so she's getting a lot of hand-me-down stuff from me. So I figured since I'm giving her hand-me-down stuff, I could make her some baby things. And she's one of those people who loves knitted things, so she's very knit-worthy. And I will put a picture of the pattern that I'm about to show you. This is I'm gonna get this wrong. Pure Pepperium cardigan. I just botched that up, but it is a sweet little newborn sweater cardigan. Sorry. And so Christmas week, I was watching some podcasts, and it was junk yarn. And don't shop in podcasts at the same time because I may have bought some yarn while I was doing that. But anyways, I found some Swans Island yarn, and this is the washable wool online. I got it on sale. I got a couple dollars off of it, but it's so soft. And so I'm going to use that on that cardigan, and it's in the Verdigris colorway, and it's kind of like a tealish blue almost. It's kind of showing up darker than it really is, and it's merino wool, and it's the DK weight. And this comes in 140 yards, 50 grams, and I love how soft it is. And I'm making her a lot of things that will be wool, and I've never given her any kind of wool gifts, so I'm going to send her with some wool wash to make sure she takes care of them. But I can't wait to get this started. Her baby shower's at the end of the month, and I'm making 4 or 5 things for her. I'm definitely going to be making her a sweater like Baby E, and I'll put a picture of that. Making her mittens. I'll probably make at least 2 of those. And there's something else. Why can't I think of it? Shoot. If I remember it, I'll put it up in the picture. There's one more thing I know for sure. Anyways, I am also, that's the wrong one, also got the same, when I was shopping different yarn, and on junk yarn she mentioned hedgehog fibers, so I got some of that, and I'm not a since I've started knitting with wool, because I will admit I am one of those people who still uses acrylic yarn. I use it to make hats, and I probably won't anymore, except for people who don't know how to wash wool and stuff. I'll continue to use it, but for me, I'll probably switch to wool here soon. But I've used acrylic yarn to make all my kids' blankets, so I'm one of those people who don't mind acrylic yarn because it's affordable, and when one of my kids gets sick, like puking all over their blanket, I can stick it in the wash and dry it real quick. So that's one of the reasons why I just now found wool. But like I'm learning about the process and how wool is made and stuff. I'm not a fan of superwash, but I couldn't pass this yarn up. It's pretty awesome. I love the colors in it, and it's showing up really bright. These blues are so much lighter, and I'll include a picture of them. But I got 2 of them because I wanted to make a shirt, and I'll include it. And I can't think of the name right now. So this is going to be the bottom part of the shirt I want. It's kind of a springy type shirt, summerish. When I say spring, it's really just a summer / early fall shirt for here, because spring means it's gonna be snowing up till June usually. So anyways, I got it in the Monet colorway, and it's 100 grams, 400 meters, 90% superwash merino, and 10% nylon. So I figured I would try just a little bit of superwash wool. I'm kind of trying to stay away from it unless there's someone I know who doesn't know how to wash wool. They could have superwash for me, handmade something for me. But me, on the other hand, I'll probably try and stay away from it as much as possible. But anyways, I also got tempted by another color, but it's again another superwash yarn, and it's very lightweight. I got Life in the Long Grass yarn, and that's almost pretty accurate. It's showing up brighter for some reason, and it's in the Garden Party colorway. It is the 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and it's 460 yards or 425 meters and 100 grams. So I figured I could make some lovely socks with these. I just gotta find the right pattern. Anyways, sorry about that. I have been looking at a lot of socks lately, so I've got like the next 100 pairs probably planned, and I'm quite excited. I just need to find the right pattern to do this in, because it's so bright and so pretty. It's got to get. I've got to find the right pattern for it. I also on what was this, like an open house holiday party thing? Can't remember, at the local yarn store. What is it called? Meadowlark Yarns. I won one of the prizes. Apparently, I shopped a lot in November. From November to December. I can't remember, because my mother-in-law was in town that weekend. Anyways, I won their sock yarn, and I got a pattern. I don't know if I've got it with me. It's a basic sock pattern, stripey pattern. So I thought this would work perfectly, and I've been seeing other people's socks from this yarn, and I love it. It's got blues and some purples in it. It's some touches of, I guess, like light green, but you can't really tell. There's some purple right there. Lovely, lovely stuff. And this is 100 grams. of virgin 75% virgin wool, and then 25% polyamide, and it's the color 03765. So I won that, and I can't wait to get started on it. I finally got some tiny needles because I've never had tiny needles. I think I got a 1.5. I'm not sure on the millimeter. Haven't started on that yet. I'm trying to get further on my sweater before I start on socks. And then when I was there that weekend, it was a couple weeks ago, I got this because my kids are gonna get handmade stuff for me, and I really love this sweater on the front, like a sweater dress. So one of my kids will get that, and it's got all these lovely patterns in it that I really like. And I figured if a book has more than 3 or 4 patterns in here that I like, then I'll get it. But I'm really liking that. That's like one of the reasons why I searched out that. I found that Interweave magazine, I think it was the fall edition, that I really liked. So I got it because there's like 3 sweaters in there that I really wanted to make, plus a shawl and a couple pair of socks. But then I really wanted the winter one, see how it was, and there's like 4 sweaters in here that I want to make. So I am like good on sweaters for the next year or so. And they have a gorgeous color work one in here that I really, really want to do. It's called the Whitfield Cardigan. And I am obsessed with color work. It's one of the reasons why I started to get more serious about knitting was this right here. I need to learn how. I don't know if this one's a steeked. Yep. It's knitted in one piece in the round. You have a steeked panel in the front for the opening in the front. So I will be learning how to do that later on this year. Probably in the fall is when I'll start this pattern. Just gotta find the right yarn for it. And so yeah. Baby E just woke up, so let me go get him and I'll be back. Sorry about that. I had to get Baby E some milk. Anyways, I really like the Interweave Knits magazine. It's one of my favorites. I like to look at them first before I buy it, so I know there's like more than 1 or 2 patterns that I'll do. I think it's pretty worth it. Like I was saying, I really like color work because I've worked with color work before. I've done a couple of Fair Isle hats, and they're one of my favorites to wear. And I did a couple for Christmas as well. So I really like all the patterns in there. But that's all I really have what I'm doing right now this month. Be really busy making baby presents. I've got to finish a quilt for my sister that I'm almost done with. For one of my sisters. I was supposed to give it to her as a graduation present last year, but I got so busy working with, I was babysitting here at the house. I got busy doing that, and it was kind of stressful. So I am not doing any more babysitting anymore, and just kind of relaxed year that we've had since the school year started because they went to public school. So I'm very excited to get started with this yarn. I'll probably cast this on, I want to say, probably later today. I might swatch for this. It's a baby sweater. I don't know if I'll swatch or not. We'll see. I might test it on some needles and see how I like it. But I really like this yarn. I'll probably consider getting this type of yarn again. depending on the price, because we do live on one income, so can't really go crazy on yarn. That's why my husband was kind of hesitant to let me buy this yarn on the internet, because I've never felt it, but I heard great things about this yarn, and it's soft. I love it. But yeah, I'm excited. That's about all I have for today. If there's an interest, will start a Ravelry group, and it'll be called probably something like Essentially Shyla or something, or I haven't really thought about a name to really do for this podcast, because I still kind of do vlogs for my blog, like video blogging that I've done in the past. I haven't really kept up with it because babysitting got super stressful in life, and so things are a lot more chill now, and I'll probably pick that back up again. So that's why my video channel's got a lot more on it than this. So if you have any questions, just let me know. You can message me on Ravelry or direct message me on Instagram if you want to know something of the sorts. And yeah, I mean, you'll probably see more of my kids. They're in the back watching TV. We just rearranged the house so I could do this and still keep the computer upstairs, so I could keep an eye on my oldest while she plays Minecraft and watches YouTube videos. So yeah, my house is, you can see the floor's a little dirty. Those are chunks of dog hair. Gotta love having a husky around the house, so always vacuuming. Anyways, that is it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know what you think. If you like it, if you don't, if you have a suggestion, questions, I'm open to anything. Until next time, bye.